Good morning, YouTube. Matt M. Roy back again. Back to you on this February 3rd, 2017. Nice and cold and hopefully snowy day. It's not going to be much, but they say we're going to get a few snowflakes. It's about 38 degrees out right now. I want to apologize for the shakiness of my camera in advance. My mount is on its last legs. I have some ordered. They actually have not come in yet, so just bear with me until I can get that new camera mount in. Well, as you can see, it's kind of a rarity. I am actually wearing my jacket today. That's right. Even in the winter, I'm not usually a big jacket person. It's just my little light windbreaker, but 38 degrees, getting a little cold for me these days. Eric, I know you'd probably think this is a heat wave compared to what you guys get up there, but I think my blood's truly thinned out since I moved down here back in the late 90s. Time for a sip of coffee. So if you guys are following me on YouTube, and of course you are because you're watching this video, then you would have seen that haul I got yesterday. That's right, I got 8 Dell Optiplex computers. There are a variety of ones. 3 of them are the 780s, which I like because those take DDR3 memory. Another 3 of them, I believe, are the 760s, which are DDR2 based systems, but still good units. And then I got another 2, which are Optiplex 755s, which are also Core 2 Duo DDR2 units. I just started working. I brought in one of the 780s last night. Man, guys, I just didn't have much time to do anything. I did finish one computer. I brought in one 780 last night. I threw in a hard drive that I had. It's only a 160 gig, but I wanted to at least make sure the computer was worked. This thing works great. It even has a ETI Radeon, I think it's a 3450 graphics card in there with dual monitor outputs, and they all have that feature, which is really nice. And even nicer than that, they actually have the DMS59 connectors. They all have them, so that was really a nice find. Yesterday was just crazy, though. I got up yesterday. I did the video on the Sony TCWE435, the cassette player. Then I started cooking dinner, and I was doing the vlog at the same time. And then right around 3, after I did about half the dinner, cut the onions up, and I made potatoes because we had what we call gush. I'll have to explain that one in a later vlog because that's a long explanation of what that is. But regardless, we went out about 40 minutes away. It actually took about 40 minutes each way to pick up the computers. Got home, cooked dinner the rest of the way once we got home, ate dinner, and by that time I was tired out. I mean, I was just like a zombie. But I promised myself I wanted to check out at least one of those computers. So was that at that point I went out to the car, I took one of the 780s out, cleaned it up, and rebuilt the inside of that a little bit. That took a little while because I'm not used to those weird drive cages that they have. Basically, the hard drive sits at the bottom. The floppy drive, or in this case the memory card reader, sits on top of that, and then on top of that is the optical drive. So it's kind of like a stacked design, which I find kind of odd, but I guess it works because it is a small form factor system, and it's good in a way because it allows for better airflow. So I put the hard drive in, I upgraded the memory, I reinstalled the operating system, and at that point I was just ready to collapse. I tell you, it was a busy day yesterday, but it actually feels good. When you have a full day and you feel like you actually accomplished something, that is really important to me. So you know what, it's a good day when you can say you've really accomplished a lot. Well, I'm here at the thrift store. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the vlog for a couple of minutes. Don't know if they're going to be putting anything out or not. The electronics section is still bare, even though they've been putting a little bit out each day. They just, from what she's telling me, they just don't have a lot of stuff to put out, which I'm very surprised, because being right after Christmas and basically right in the middle of tax season, this is usually when they get everything. So I'm going to head in and we'll see if they have put any other electronics out. Well, talk to you soon. That was interesting. I went into the thrift store. I didn't really see anything, but I checked in the back. They have a little curtained off area, and right on the table there, they got this gigantic, like 24, 25 inch HP monitor. And I asked the processor in the back if that was coming out. She's like, yeah, but they have to test it. So definitely gonna be coming back here a little bit later today. I'm gonna check back 2 or 3 times because I definitely don't want to miss out on that. On a really happy note, though, a friend of mine at the thrift store has a cat named Diesel, and her cat's been sick over the past, I'd say, about 6 months or so. He's only about 2 years old. He had a bowel obstruction and was unable to pee, basically. So he had this original surgery in November, and they thought everything was going well, but the other day he got totally blocked up again because of what apparently was the scar tissue. So he had to get emergency surgery. Well, I couldn't do it around here because around here they wanted to charge her $2,500 to get the surgery for him. So she went up to Richmond, and they wound up doing it up there, and they only charged her, I think, $850. But that really wasn't the end of the story. They did the surgery, I guess, to his intestines. I'm not exactly sure what they did, but apparently even at that point, he still couldn't go to the bathroom. They actually had to... how can I say this nicely? They had to reopen up his little pee hole. But they said that's normally another $1,000. At this point, she was ready to put him down because the cat had been through so much already. And they're like, well, look, I know, but I think we can go ahead and fix this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do that part of the surgery for free, which normally would have been $1,000. And they did the surgery. He's at home resting now. It's still a little touch and go, but apparently the cat's doing a lot better. I'm just really happy to hear that because he's such a cutie. I don't have a picture of him, but he looks a lot like Baxter, and he's only 2 years old. I still can't get over that, but that just goes to show if you own a cat, especially a male, that gets a lot of urinary tract infections, you got to keep up on that because I've seen so many cats have problems. My original cat, Oliver, passed away from kidney failure that they think originated when he had a urinary tract infection and it was untreated. We didn't know that he had it. And we know Simon had the same thing several times. It seems to be more prevalent with the orange cats for some reason, but any male cat is very susceptible to this. So if you guys have cats and the symptoms from what I notice are they're using the litter box a lot, or they're going in the litter box trying to relieve themselves and they can't do it. Those are probably the main symptoms. Also, sometimes cats will get lethargic. They'll go ahead and just like slink into the closet and lay down, and you won't be able to see them, or they won't want your attention. So if you ever see signs like that, definitely time to take your cat to the vet. Well, I'm going to head over to the other thrift store. I have a few more errands to run, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Oh, Geese. Watch it, Geese. These guys are trying to cross the road here. Why'd the goose cross the road? I guess to get to the other side. There are a few of them there. We get so many geese in this area. It is so funny. All right, guys, stay safe. Don't get hit by any cars. All right, tubers, we'll go outside and grab the mail real quick. Just finished a really good lunch from Subway. I had the tuna sub on their 9-grain whole wheat bread. Oh, absolutely delicious. And luckily, I found out I had enough to get a free sub, so Dan and I both got one today. I was a little disappointed because originally I was going to go to Taco Bell and get those double stuffed tacos, the ones that have been so good. They stopped making them. That's right. Thanks, Taco Bell. It drives me crazy. Whenever they get something good, they don't keep it for any length of time. I don't even think they had that a month. But I guess I can kind of understand it because that must have been losing them money. When you think about all the meat, all of the hard, soft tacos, so everything that went into that taco for $1, I can't even imagine that they were making any kind of money on that. So, you know what I would rather them do? I would actually pay $1.50 or $2 for one of those. No mail yet. I wish they would just keep them on the menu, but what they do is they get these promotional things like that. They realize they're not making any money on it, and then they just stop making them altogether. Kind of sad, but I'm gonna head back inside. Someone told me that it was flurrying here this morning. Now, I didn't wake up till about 10:30, and when I woke up, it wasn't doing anything, but I'll tell you, it sure feels like snow right now. It's probably sitting right at about 35 degrees. I'm out here without a jacket, so I'm gonna head inside, get my coat, and we'll see what the rest of the day brings. Check this out, YouTube. I just picked this up at my local thrift store, the CHKD. I'm not paying $30 for it, but man, what a beautiful monitor. This is an HP W, if this will focus, 2408, 24-inch LCD screen. It's got VGA and DVI input, no HDMI, but that's okay. I don't really use HDMI anyway. Man, this is just totally awesome. A little bit more than I would normally pay at the thrift store for any monitor, but for this size screen, I had to get it. I mean, it is just totally awesome. It is a glossy screen, so I can't have this in direct sunlight, but I'm just really happy with it so far. The screen itself looks to be in good shape. Don't see any major flaws or anything. Yeah, this is just really, really cool. And I have this hooked up to one of those Dell Optiplex 780s. I wanted to show this to you real quick too. This is one of the computers I got on that haul yesterday. The 780s come with Windows 7. It's got a Windows 7 keys. It's got a 12-in-1 memory card reader, a DVD burner. Down here, it's got the normal mic and headphone inputs, 2 USB 2.0 ports. And the one thing I really found cool about these is these computers actually have a light on the front to tell you if it's connected to the network, which it is right now. So that kind of helps you diagnose. Let's say you're on the internet and all of a sudden it cuts out. It'll tell you if you're physically connected to your network or not. And I always kind of found that really cool. I just wanted to share this with you guys real quick. I was just totally shocked that they had this here. I kind of knew that they did because I saw it there inside this morning on the desk, as I mentioned before, but it took them forever to put it out. When I went back in, it was still sitting there, and I went back and asked one of the processors, are you guys gonna put it out? And she's like, yeah, the manager's gonna put $30 on it. I'm like, bring it out here, I'm gonna test it. If it works, I'm gonna take it. So like I say in the past, guys, if you want to find good things at your thrift stores, just be diligent. I have to go sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and man, does it usually pay off. Well, it's about 5:15 right now. Just sitting down to dinner. I'm having some of that gush. We'll go ahead and show you what it looks like real quick. It may not be appetizing for everybody, but we like it every once in a while. This is basically what it is. It's mashed potatoes, and these are fresh mashed potatoes. I actually peeled them and boiled them yesterday. It's ground beef with onions. You can see a little piece of onion in there, and I just mix the corn in. I mean, you can eat it separately. Generally, you eat it with the mashed potatoes and then the meat mixture on top. It's got gravy. This is just the packaged Pioneer beef gravy, but for those of you that are interested, that is what we had for dinner tonight, and actually last night. We're doing the leftovers tonight. It's what we call gush. It's not something we eat on a regular basis. We have it maybe about once every 6 months or so because it is very fattening. But yeah, if you guys want to try it, like I said, it's really easy. It's just ground beef, onions, mashed potatoes, packaged beef gravy. And what I do is I brown the ground beef first, just like you're making taco meat. And then I put the onions in, chopped onions. And then I make a batch of beef gravy in a separate pot. And then I mix that in towards the end. And I usually add some peppers, salt, some of that spike seasoning, onion powder and garlic powder, and I let it simmer for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes more to let the gravy thicken up. And that's all it is. So if you guys are interested in giving it a try, you can. If you guys want to know the exact recipe, I'll have to talk to Mom for that. Well, that's all I have for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.